Page 297, line 23, section 1825, the level for Department of Education school improvement programs, $3,066,967,000.
For what purpose, gentleman from Alaska?
Mr. Chairman, I have an amendment.
Clerk will designate
in the record.
Amendment number 532, printed in the Congressional Record, offered by Mr. Young of Alaska.
Gentleman from Alaska is recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, this amendment will strike the language in H.R. 1 that prohibits the Department of Education from funding the Alaska Native Education Equity Act and the Native Hawaiian Education Program. The amendment will not add money to the Department of Education budget, but will allow the department to fund those programs and as they see a need. And I yield at this time to the good lady from Hawaii for a very short statement. Are you ready? I yield to the lady.
I thank the gentleman for yielding. I ask unanimous consent to extend and expand my remarks.
Without objection, so ordered.
I rise in strong support of this amendment introduced by my colleague, Congressman Don Young, to support Alaska Native and Native Hawaiian education. And this amendment makes these worthwhile programs eligible for these education funds, and I urge my colleagues to support this amendment. I yield back.
Mr. Chairman, I yield the and urge my colleagues to vote yes on the amendment.
Gentleman yields back. For what purpose, the gentlelady from Connecticut rise?
Mr. Chairman, I seek time in opposition.
Gentlelady is recognized for 5 minutes.
I move to strike the last word. Mr. Chairman, as I understand the current definition of an earmark as defined by this body, the two programs that the gentleman is seeking to restore are both earmarks. Alaska Native Education and Native Hawaiian education programs are worthy programs. There's no doubt in my mind. And I believe the overall purpose of both is to ensure that the unique educational needs of Alaska and Hawaiian natives are met. And clearly, we all want the same for our constituents. But I think we have to be clear about what these programs are. They are earmarks with a price tag that approaches $70 million. Now, this majority has been very proud of their policy to ban all earmarks. And if I might, I would like to just read from the comments of the chair of the Appropriations Committee, Mr. Rogers, in his summary fiscal year 2011 continuing resolution, and I quote, "The continuing resolution includes no earmark funding and eliminates all previous earmark funding from the fiscal year 2010, saving the taxpayers approximately $8.5 billion. In addition, the bill includes language specifically negating any and all earmarks as defined by House rules." That is why, and again, as I say, this majority has been very, very proud of their policy to ban all earmarks. It's really the decision by my Republican colleague from Alaska is therefore for me very hard to understand. And the support that the majority is providing for this amendment is hard to understand. But I think it is clear evidence that the status quo remains when it comes to special favors and when it comes to special interests. I yield back.
Yields back. What purpose, the gentleman from Montana rise?
Strike the last words.
The gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
I yield my time to Mr. Young from Alaska.
I'm deeply disappointed in the lady from Connecticut. This is a program that's been in existence since 1994. And you voted for it every time. This is not an earmark, it's an existing program. And I've heard you rail all night about restoring monies which are all earmarks. You're dead wrong. The good lady from Hawaii?
To address the chair.
Well, all right. I'll address the chair, but I'll look over there.
I remind members that all remarks should be addressed to the chair.
All earmarks. I'm going to say respectfully, this is an existing program, and the reason it was started is because the Alaskan Natives and the Hawaiian Natives do not receive monies from the BIA. It was started to recognize an inequity of those people that live in both of our states. It's not a new program, and this language as written is at the discretion of the department as they see a need. And like I say, I thought we were going to start a little bit of a bipartisan effort on this side, and I don't see it. When those people will take away from some of the most impoverished people and have not had that opportunity. So I'm urging my colleagues to vote yes on this amendment, and I say those that oppose it, shame on you. I've heard the bleeding hearts all night, and it deeply disturbs me that they would say this is something different when it's an existing program. And I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman from Montana, yield back his time.
I yield back.
What purpose does the gentleman from Washington rise?
To strike the requisite number of words.
The gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
I yield to the distinguished ranking member.
I thank the gentleman, and I just would say to my colleague and friend, I might add, and my friends here, that this is, in fact, in the same category of a program as Teach for America, the National Writing Project, and other projects, just to name a couple, who have been designated by the majority as earmarks. This is the same category of programs. We can't not be talking about a series of programs on the one hand which are categorized as earmarks, and then the other the same, and in the same breath then say that these, because they are of specific interest to me or anyone else, that in fact then they are not. If we are going to be if we are going to be, really the majority is going to be true, if the majority is going to be true to its
Not getting in this.
its principle, and it has been a very, very defined principle. It has been one, that's why I quoted specifically the chairman of the Appropriations Committee, who made a special point of letting not only us but the country know that earmarks were not going to be part of this continuing resolution. I did not say that. I have not stood here and made a claim that the problem with spending in this country is about earmarks and they should all be gone. Now, you either have to define the earmarks, stick to your definition and your principle, or don't, and then let's talk about Teach for America, the Writing Project, and the others that have been categorized as earmarks. Let's have a level playing field. Yield back.
I yield back my time.
Gentleman yields back his time. The question is on the amendment offered by the gentleman from Alaska. As many as are in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed will say no. Opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The ayes have it. An amendment is agreed to. Recorded vote is requested. Pursuant to Clause 8 of Clause 6 of Rule 18, further proceedings on the amendment offered by the gentleman from Alaska will be postponed. The clerk will read.
Page 298, line 20.